Hi Leo, welcome to your week ahead reading. A couple of things. First thing, happy birthday. I will be putting your birthday reading out very soon. I do a special birthday bonus reading for all zodiac signs when it's their season, if you like, and that will be a 10-card Celtic Cross spread. Secondly, I have also put an extra video out for saying thank you. Now, this is concerning what happened last week with the channel. It's absolutely blown me away. And instead of waffling on the first 5 minutes of your video to explain what's happened, I've put a separate video out. So please go and watch that, because I just, I'm truly grateful for you all. So let's get on with your reading, Leo. We're asking for 2 daily crystal cards, please, for Leo. First one, we have Jade. Be the bigger person. And secondly, we have Turquoise. Prioritize your health. Jade, be the bigger person. Turquoise, prioritize your health. You might hear my dog whining. Here she comes. Hello. You're the first zodiac sign she's come to say hello to, Leo. Hello. What are you doing then? You're going to sit down like a good girl and say hello to Leo? Just quickly. You see her? She's so pretty. Yeah. Right, off you go. Good girl. I know. You're going to lay down then. Right, okay, Leo, let's get on with your reading. This is Bella, by the way. She's the star of the channel. So, right, dear spirit guides and angels, please join me in this reading for Leo and make it helpful, hopeful, and healing. So what's the focus, please, and thank you for Leo? She settled down. What's the focus, please, and thank you for Leo? 4 of Swords, I like that. Prioritising your health, getting some rest. Opportunity is the King of Swords. Challenge, please, and thank you for Leo. Is Temperance. And what's bubbling under the surface, please, and thank you for Leo? Is the 4 of Wands. And then final advice and outcome for Leo. 10 of Pentacles. I might just shut that door because I don't want her in and out. There we go. Okay, let's get on with your reading, Leo. Far too many disturbances already. Just adjust that camera and we're good to go. Right, 4 of Swords, Leo. This is about taking time out, rest, relaxation, and repair. I feel that you've been working your socks off, and you know what? There has to be a balance in life. You've got to work hard, but play hard too. So next week, rest, recuperate. It says prioritize your health. King of Swords is your opportunity. There's something about a decision that you need to be making next week that, you know, you are in control of that. There's a king there. There's an opportunity to sit in your power as a king, if you like. The King of Swords is very much a person that needs to sit down, address matters in a very logical manner, and in a very truthful manner too. They take all of the information, the black and white of it, and put it all together. They keep their emotions out of it. There's something that needs to be sorted next week in terms of that. Now, Temperance is your challenge. Now, Temperance as a challenge can mean that, yes, you're struggling to be patient, but for me also it can mean that you are overdoing something. You're just thinking like you're trying to perfect something that, you know, you need to go a little bit more with the flow, perhaps, because, you know, the Temperance is the card of alchemy. They're trying to change your situation. They're trying to turn one thing into another. And I think you're trying too hard. I think you're overdoing it. I think you've got to go with the flow a little bit more, whatever that may mean for you. The 4 of Wands is bubbling under the surface. For some of you, it could mean that you're wanting to move. You're wanting to establish your own boundaries, your own property, or there's something to do with, you know, something to do with the stability within a home life that's bubbling under the surface. Maybe there's a consideration with your working hard, you know, perhaps you're feeling a bit guilty, you're not at home enough. The 10 of Pentacles is your advice and outcome. I love the Ten of Pentacles. It is probably one of the best cards in the deck. This is about long-term plans. This is about family unit, money, finances in abundance too. Now, it can also mean about legacy, something that you are carrying on. Maybe that's why you're working so hard. You're like, you know, trying to make sure that everybody has enough. In as much as wanting to leave it down generations. I don't know. Let's have a look. It's like saying, get that Four of Swords. Also, Four of Swords is connecting and meditating. Now, I have had some amazing synchronicities since I've started meditating, and I got very lazy with it. But please, I just trust me when I say all you need to do is 10 minutes a day and just see where it takes you. If you want any guidance on it, look on YouTube. If you needed a guided meditation, I do sometimes, especially if I want to go to sleep. I love listening to guided meditations. But in the morning, I sit very quietly and I just ask them, what do I need to know today? And then all sorts comes into your mind. It's amazing. Anyway, stop waffling. Four of Swords, why are you here? For Leo. This is about you being rested. Maybe you're overdoing it, but get back to your meditation too. Lead a more peaceful, be a bit more peaceful next week. That's what it's making me feel, because you need to prioritize your health. Oh, look at that. Talk about prioritizing your health. You've got the Star card. What's the Star card? The card of healing. It's also the card about focusing on making sure, this is when I say you can't run a car on an empty tank. You've got to put petrol in. You've got to, got to service it and MOT it also. You've got to look after it. It's the same for you, Leo. You need to nurture yourself too in order, to make your star shine. Now, this can also be about being in the limelight, but not with that Four of Swords and prioritizing your health. You need to be a bit more thoughtful about how much time and energy you're giving to others compared to what you're getting back, but not so much what you're getting back with how you're nurturing yourself. I bet you're really good at telling everybody else, oh, you need to take a break. I'm here to help you. But you need to be, what's the word? Practicing what you preach next week, Leo. Now, the King of Swords, there's an opportunity. Now, he would tell you straight. He'd be like, right, okay, if you think you can carry on like this, let's put this down on paper and look at the facts of the matter. Or there's a decision that you do need to make, really. It could be to do with a contract too, because the King of Swords is also about, for me, he's like being a solicitor energy or a judge. It's something to do with court cases and legal issues. Let's have a look. King of Swords. Why are you here? As an opportunity for Leo. We have, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, maybe there's a contract coming in, something to do with the financial situation that needs to have a King of Swords look at that. It needs to be looked at perhaps through a very practical eyes as opposed to emotional, I want to say, because there's absolutely no cups in this reading, which tells me that, it's all about being practical next week. Ace of Pentacles, as I say, is something new being handed to you. And I think you're going to need to either be that King of Swords and be very practical about it. There maybe is a level of guilt associated with this too. Especially with that Ten of Pentacles, if you've been handed down money from a family through a legacy, it can mean, I know when I've lost a lot of members of my family, and yes, I've been left pentacles, and it makes you feel guilty. You think, oh my gosh, this is not what I wanted. I'd rather you be here. But anyway, let's not go down that road. It gets a bit emotional. But I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles, there's something coming in, a new opportunity, offer something coming in. You're going to need to be either in that King of Swords energy, like, right, let's look at this practically and logically, or you're going to need advice from a solicitor. Now, the Temperance card You're hanging on to something for too long. You just, I don't know, maybe it's this decision, but temperance is as a challenge. You're over perfecting something. Let's just go with the flow a bit more. Let's have a look, Leo. 7 of Wands as a challenge. Now, the 7 of Wands as a challenge is like it's hard for you to get your point across about something. Now, Bella has joined us again. So, and I'm just pre-warning you. Yep, she's right near the tripod. She just likes to give it a little tap. So if you see me do this, it's Bella. Now, the 7 of Wands, back to your reading as a challenge. Yeah, you're struggling to speak up about something also with this temperance. Or you're dealing with somebody who's very defensive. That you're going to have to be a bit patient with. I also feel there's something to do with your boundaries. Yeah, maybe this is where you're having to be the bigger person here. Maybe somebody around you is trying to convince you otherwise to do something, to change those two things you're trying to blend into one, or something you're trying to make a harmonious outcome. And this 7 of Wands, I feel they're being very negative towards you. But you're going to have to be the bigger person there and stick to your guns. Now, the 4 of Wands is what's in the consideration here. This is what's bubbling under the surface. And as I say, it's something to do with a house, a property, home life. Let's have a look. What is it? What's going on here? You went back in. Why do we have the 4 of Wands here for Leo? There we go. Ooh. 2 of Wands. There's indecision about a property, a house. Because the 2 of Wands for me is my card of should I stay or should I go? It's also about making a decision that you know will perhaps be pushing you outside your comfort zone. And looking at the bigger picture again. They are encouraging you to look at the bigger picture. Maybe you are considering actually moving abroad, because he has the globe in his hand, and it's like you know, maybe you're being a bit tunnel visioned over something. And with that temperance card, as I said, it can mean that you're trying to perfect something that is never going to get there in the first place. You need to be making a decision here what to do, rather than waiting and waiting and waiting. And you know that it's in your subconscious. It's like, ooh. Now, the advice and outcome is the 10 of Pentacles. It's kind of like whatever decision you make, whatever this is, it will bring in stability, long-term stability. And for some of you, it's connected with money that has been left in the family and legacy. So 10 of Pentacles, why are you here, please and thank you? For Leo. I do apologise if you can hear a horrible creaking noise. That's my daughter in her bedroom. Oh my gosh, the Fool. This is go for it energy. This is the advice of the universe. Trust the universe and go for it. Whatever that is for that 10 of Pentacles. Because when we see the Fool, it's the beginning of a new journey. It's like wiping the slate clean of everything that's gone on in the past, and let's start again. And maybe you have got somebody in the family who's encouraging you to do that with that 10 of Pentacles. Wow, Leo, I love that. Right, let's finish with Wisdom of the Oracle. Let's have one more card, please, and thank you for Leo. Maybe you're having a lot of distractions too, because I'll be honest, we've had Bella come in and out twice. My daughter making all the noise upstairs. You've got Between Worlds. Look at this card. Oh my gosh, I love this. And it kind of feels like you are stuck in the black and white of something, but also can see the positive. Let's have a look at the card of the book though, because the messages of this deck are, well, they're just sublime. Okay. Between Worlds, your message, Leo. Between the worlds is where you must let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you're unable to see what is ahead. Cultivate curiosity and trust the process. That's your full card of change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences. In this place between what was and what will be is a state of making and unmaking and making again. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There is a great freedom and power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life within a divine matrix of consciousness greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions. That was a long sentence. The seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. When you are between the worlds, you are invited to see with the curious eyes of a child, glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so, and you will not be disappointed. Oh my gosh, Leo, how beautiful. Exciting. But you do need to look after yourself, Leo. There is a big message there. Joking aside, we've got the Four of Swords with the Star card is saying, you know, you need to nurture yourself as well as others, and prioritize your health. Okay, hope you enjoyed that, Leo. I shall catch up with you next week, and thank you all for watching. Take care.